Hi, how are ya? My name's Beta, and today I want to talk about my first time ever going incognito at a furry convention. And I achieved this by wearing my friend's brand new coyote fursuit from Waggery Costumes, in which no one knew it was me going around MFF 2024 Sunday evening as Kodey Yotey. In the past 5 years I've been a furry, I haven't really had a low-key convention experience because I've been known as furry YouTuber Beta Eta Delota. And again, this isn't a bad or sad thing, nor am I talking about this to boost my ego in any way. This is just the reality of my position. People recognize me as Beta, Beta Eta Delota, Levi Sheppy, Maverick the Wolf Dragon, any other nickname under the umbrella of Beta Eta Delota, and the reality of it is unless Shane Gillis is going to a furry convention, it's pretty easy to recognize this face. At least that's what I've been told. I mean, hell, I had someone recognize me for the shoes that I wear the other day. They were like, oh hey Beta, I recognize you in the crowd of people. I'm like, really? How'd you do that? I mean, I had a hoodie on, and they're like, oh, I just recognize the shoes that you wear are Asics, so I just kind of went there and found you. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I wore Asics. Thank you, though. I mean, hey, if you recognize me for that, like, good on you. You got some, like, detective skills there. I know some people would take that as, like, creeped out, but I'm honestly just impressed. But either way, today I want to talk about my first time going incognito at a furry convention recently. So, let's talk about it. There's a lot to unpack with this. I mean, not really. It's just an experience, and at the end of the day it was pretty cool, not life-changing, but it was neat. But it was my first time doing something that I didn't realize would have that big of an impact as it did. So I want to talk about it, discuss it, and maybe you guys learned something from it. I know the idea of secret fursuits and secret sonas has been well known within furry for years now. It's something I myself have contemplated many years back, but honestly I kind of gave up just because I know, hey, if I get a secret sona, it's going to be hard to cover it up, especially when I want to have a life jacket on me. So like, yeah, I mean, every fursona I want to have some embodiment of me, whether it's known or not. So like having the life jacket on a sona is kind of a dead giveaway. It's a lose-lose. There's no incognito for me realistically ever again, which isn't sad or anything. It's something that I more so choose. So today I want to talk about my first time going incognito at a furry convention, what it was like going around in fursuit as, I guess, a secret sona, more so known as someone else rather than myself, the build up to how we got into that, what it was like wearing my friend's new fursuit from Waggery Costumes, what the experience was like going around in fursuit, especially at MFF, and what the overall reception was like from someone who was technically someone else. Honestly, this is a video that I've wanted to do for a while now, but haven't really had the opportunity to do so. It wasn't even something that I thought about at the time would be an incognito experience. It was more just like, oh hey, I get to fursuit around as a friend. I love doing that. I love trying on other people's fursuits, especially fursuits from makers I haven't even tried yet. I had never gotten to try on a Waggery Costumes fursuit, and truthfully, I've loved Waggery's fursuits for a while now, and so I kind of got this opportunity through another friend who just got their fursuit semi-recently. So there's a lot to unpack today. Let's start with who this fursuiter is and how I've gotten to know him as one of my closest friends within furry within the past few months. This is Kodey Yotey. He is an absolute sweetheart, a streamer friend of mine who I met through other streamers and kind of just jumping between meeting people. I got to meet Kodey through a bunch of friends, and he is such a wonderful being. I love him to death. He is a sweetheart, and truthfully, I adore his character design. I am a Kodey Yotey simp. What more is there to say besides Dad Yote? Like, I mean, you know, it's just... But Kodey, or Kodey Yotey, is someone who I've gotten to know in the past few months on Twitch. I've been kind of jumping around the different furry circles on Twitch, getting to meet new people who are streamers and furries, just because I've always enjoyed that crowd. It's always been very genuine and welcoming to me. One of which was Jake Werepanther, an awesome, wonderful friend of mine, and through him I met Kodey Yotey, which, if it isn't obvious enough, Kodey is a coyote, and I absolutely adore his character design. It is so precious. I love the colors, I love the vibes, I love Dad Yote, I mean... But he's someone I've gotten to know through the past few months this year, and whom I got to meet formally at Megaplex 2024, which in my opinion is one of the best furry conventions I've been to date. Out of the 5 years I've been going, Megaplex, it is up there. I love that con so goddamn much. I had an amazing time. That's where I really got to bond with and get to know Kodey and Jake and everyone, and it was really a wonderful time. At some point during Megaplex, I ended up putting Jake in my fursuit because he wanted to try it, and I wanted to give him some fursuiting experience, especially at Megaplex, and he seemed to have a good time with it. And I guess out of inspiration for that, Kodey got the idea to potentially have him and I suit swap at some point when he got his fursuit. He didn't have it at the point of Megaplex, but had it, I think, a little bit after. His first furry convention with Kodey Yotey, the fursuit, was AFC, another furry convention, and then MFF being like the real big one. So technically this is like the big first furry convention he's going to as Kodey Yotey. He ended up coming to me with the idea of suit swapping at some point if we're ever at the same convention in the future, whether that was MFF, FWA, whichever con would happen. And I was totally for the idea. I've always wanted to suit swap with someone and really just kind of get into the experience. But I know if anyone wearing Levi or any fursuit of mine that becomes more recognizable that is Beta or Beta Eta Delota, it can be a lot. It's not bad, it's just a lot. And so for me, it's very pivotal that I am going around with Levi when he's in fursuit, and especially with Kodey, who just got his new fursuit, that he'd want to go around with Kodey Yotey instead of, watch him, go and do his thing. So he decided, okay, instead of suit swapping, do you want to just wear Kodey Yotey at MFF? And I'm like, this sounds great. I would love to try that because one, I get to try a new fursuit. And it only dawned upon me like 3 days before the con that this would technically be my first time going incognito in fursuit at a fur con. And so I asked him like, hey, would it be all right if we made it like into some sort of video thing so that I could cover this and discuss my experiences with it? And he's like, yeah, sure, let's do that. That sounds like fun. And so here we were, Sunday night at MFF, me getting into his fursuit, trying it out for the first time, and going around as the new nickname for me, Bodhi. Kodey and then Beta Bodhi, Bodey Yotey. I was a Beta Yotey for the first time. It was pretty fun, but the plan was to walk around the hotel lobby at MFF in the main hotel. I think it's called the Hyatt. I can't remember. Pretty chill, but populated experience. Go around for a few hours, get some pics, get some videos of me going around saying hi to people, and then that would be the experience. It was like 2 hours, give or take. So what was it like wearing that suit? Well, first off, it was hot as fuck, but also hot as fuck. I mean that in the sense that the suit was just actually physically warm. It was actually my first time wearing a fursuit that had the feet paws attached to the body itself. I've very rarely seen that with fursuits, and this was my first time trying it on. It was kind of like a onesie to some extent, like you're putting on a fursuit onesie. The other problem we had was that I have giant fucking feet. Like I am a 13.5 wide shoe size. It is massive. Why have I not capitalized on that yet? I feel like there's got to be a market for that, and I just haven't tapped into it yet. Look, not my thing, but, if it pays well, I might, look, someone let me know, please and thanks. But even though there was a huge difference in the shoe size, it really didn't affect anything in terms of how I was able to walk around in it. It felt fine. The only other downside was that we opted to not have the head fans on in the fursuit, because the ventilation was, just the mouth. Like you can see the suit, it's literally just the mouth as the ventilation for airflow in and out. And the head does have head fans to help with that, but we didn't end up using them at the time and opted for the alternative of this little portable fan with like a little coffee design on it that you'd shove in my muzz and give me some airflow whenever I was dying on the inside. So when I say that fursuit was hot as fuck, I mean it was really, really warm. Like out of everything after desuiting, the one thing that was the most wet out of all the Under Armour that I wore was the balaclava. It was so warm in there. The fursuit body was actually really cozy to be in, not gonna lie. Like I would legitimately just wear that bodysuit and fall asleep and like take a nap in it. It was really good. It was nice. But my feet did not fit into the shoes in the paws, and the fursuit head was just a little bit warm. I was dripping. Very avidly dripping, and I needed to take a good few breaks going around. And that's quite surprising because I myself have had experience for the past however many years now wearing a digigrade fursuit with like the padding in the legs, the big bulky fursuit in and of itself, and the big head, so I'm kind of used to that. So for me, the only downside was just the heat on the inside, but other than that, fursuit was pretty good, and I looked adorable as fuck. So what was the experience like? It was awesome. I got to go around with friends while being in suit without being stopped or recognized as Beta Eta Delota. I think the big noteworthy thing for me going down and around in fursuit is that the interactions that I had were about 1/10 of what I usually have for interactions if I ever go into a convention or hotel space that a con is happening in. Believe it or not, that was like about 1/10 from what I was used to, with just saying hi to friends who recognized Kodey Yotey and wanted to get a picture or say hi to Kodey Yotey in suit, but then were confused to see Kodey Yotey right next to me outside a suit and were like, who is this? And then Kodey would say, oh, it's someone we don't know who it is that's in my suit. And they kept that whole thing anonymous. They kept it so that no one knew that it was Beta in suit. And I was really happy and thrilled about that because I got to keep up the act, the charade. Ultimately, I didn't have to worry about being beta or beta Eta Delota. I could just be Kodey Yotey. I could be whatever aura or vibe I was feeling while wearing that fursuit, and according to Kodey, I did a pretty good job bringing the character to life. I was very emotive and moving around, doing dances. I think I did like the floss and orange justice. I think I had a moment where I did all like the Fortnite dances that everyone loves, and honestly, I'm quite impressed that I was able to do that, and I'm really happy that that was captured. I got to literally go around a con space without being stopped once or hearing like beta in the distance of like me needing to like see where it's coming from or where I'm being called from. All I had to keep on the lookout for was anyone who wanted to say hi to Kodey, and it was really nice. It was really endearing. It was nice to meet friends of Kodey's and see them and see their reactions to see Kodey and then Kodey out of suit. It was really nice. I did like that little bit where when we were going around the con and I was sweating like so hot out of my mind because of the fursuit head, whenever I was just dying beyond belief, I'd be like, could you put the head fan in my head? I'm dying. And then Kodey would be like, here you go, Yote, drink your coffee. And that was just like a cute little endearing thing, despite the fact that I was dying of heat and sweat on the inside of that head. But pretty much the experience was what you could imagine. We went around, said hi to friends, had some fursuiters interact with me because they wanted to interact with other fursuiters. Friends of Kodey's came up and said hi. Fans of Kodey's came up and said hi. I got a bunch of pictures in fursuit. I mean, I'm pretty used to posing in fursuit, if I'm being honest, so I took some very good photos. I'll say that. Even a friend of mine named Arvin, who came up to get pics with me, didn't even know after like 3 times of me saying it that it was me in suit. I'm like, oh, hi Arvin, it's Beta, and then he didn't know until someone told him, and like it was different. And I ended up getting the new nickname Bodhi. You know, Kodey, Beta, Bodhi. You know, Bodhi is now Beta when he's in Kodey's suit, which only now do I realize doing this video defeats the entire purpose of having Kodey be an incognito suit for me, but you know, it was fun. But we went on for about 2 hours, took a break in between for the headless lounge for some water, and then suited for a little bit longer, went around and got some more footage and more pics, and then ended up desuiting. Now, the experience in terms of an incognito suit experience was pretty cool. I haven't had something like that where I just was not Beta and I was just someone else and I could just stand in a con space without worrying about people, you know, looking at me from behind or wanting to get my attention and not being as sensible to do so. Because when you're in fursuit, it's a lot harder to like use all your senses of like hearing, touch, and all that. And so whenever I've been in fursuit at other cons as my main characters, I'll let people tap me on the shoulder or like hug me from behind, and it's like, please don't do that, and like call to me, and I just don't hear or see them, and I feel bad. So having it be where it was a little bit more minimal was honestly an interesting new experience. It was good in the end. It wasn't something where I feel like it was life-changing or something that I needed to have happen, but it was just fun and different. I loved getting into the character of Kodey and really just dancing around, moving around, being a cutesy yote, but it was different and it was new, and the only thing that I had to worry about in that moment wasn't, you know, saying hi to someone or making sure that they had a good first impression with Beta. All I had to do was worry about being a lovely, adorable yote, and that realistically should be what it is whenever someone is like fursuiting or going around a con as their character. They're bringing their character to life and they enjoy it as such. It's not to say I don't enjoy fursuiting at a con, it's just when there's added baggage to it as being known as someone, it can definitely lead to the experience being more work than it is just free and enjoyable. And again, I'm not saying this to make anyone feel bad or to be like, no, do not say hi to Beta. You know, you're more than welcome to say hi to me if you see me. I'll let you know if I need some time separately to say hi, or if you can say hi to me another time. I'll be honest and forward about that. But just having it from the get-go, where I can fursuit around and just be an adorable coyote at a con, it was pretty nice. And just being able to kind of get into the character of it with no other worries, that's the main thing, like not worrying. And I think for me, I just need to start to let go with those experiences of being known as Beta. Maybe I should take up more of the mindset that I'm just like a friend passing by at a con. Like if people say hi to me, it's like a wave as I'm going from point A to point B, you know, just a friend you see in passing. Not that, you know, anyone specifically is or isn't a friend. It's just more of like, I am the friendly face to go around. And maybe that's more of how I need to take it at cons. I don't really know. And ultimately the experience is making me kind of consider making a secret for fursona or a secret suit. Not to say it's for any reason of retaliation that I just don't like being recognized. It's just more of like, I like that fresh experience of not being tied to some other thing. I mean, granted, I was tied to Kodey Yotey, and with that, it was just kind of going around with friends in fursuit. That was really it at the end of the day. I liked it. I know the whole concept of having a secret sona is different and can be challenging to maintain. I mean, hey, I'm saying that as someone who had a secret fursona who gave up on it. And truthfully, I do not have the money to even invest any time into a new character design, into a new fursuit, and I've already neglected other characters as is. I'm in the process of trying to redesign both of these fuckers, and I barely even have the money for it, so it's just... It's already a lot as is, and I'm thinking about it right now. If I were to have a secret fursona, I'd still want to express myself unapologetically. I'd want it to be my own character, not just a character that I put on for the sake of having, you know, a refreshing taste of Furry Con. But I realize as well, it'd probably be so obvious that it would be me, because I would be wearing a life jacket. I'd have the life jacket with the character, because the life jacket is just a part of what I enjoy and do. So it's like, no real point in having a secret sona, but it's a prospect. It's something I might think of in the future, but ultimately, it's just an idea. And for those friends of mine who do have sort of similar experiences to me, you know, consider the idea of secret suiting, or consider the options that I've taken with the opportunities that I've been given to try on different fursuits. It's an idea, it's not an end-all be-all, but it's honestly a cutesy thing to try. You know, putting yourself into someone else's shoes, literally within the perspective of wearing their feet paws in their fursuit, is very different and it's unique, and I highly encourage it for those that haven't tried it yet. But that was pretty much my experience with going incognito at a Furry Con for about 2-ish hours. I had a good time. I'd love to do something like that again, and I'm so extremely grateful to Kodey for giving me the opportunity for that. So big shout out and thank you to Kodey Yotey for letting me wear his fursuit at MFF and for being an amazing friend. And thank you for allowing me to have my first incognito experience at a furry convention. So on that note, thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to let me know in the comments. I greatly appreciate all the love and support. You guys have been so wonderful with watching and liking and commenting on my videos. Like, I really do appreciate it. Just hearing that you enjoy what I have to talk about and are contributing to it in like the comments or talking about videos later, like it means a lot to me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for all the support. If you want to go and check out Kodey Yotey or see more of what he has to offer, I'll be linking his socials down in the description below. So be sure to go and check him out. Again, little 18+ warning, because, you know, the adult audiences and all that. But yeah, go and show some love and support to Kodey. He's an absolute sweetheart. I've been very blessed to have gotten to know him and Jake and many friends throughout the span of this year, and I'm very grateful for the experiences that I had hanging out with them and getting to fursuit as Kodey at Megaplex. Sorry, MFF. Brain's in a tizzy right now. I'm doing the best I can. I don't really have much else to say besides check out my socials, everything linked in the description below. Buy my merch, check out my Patreon. Consider checking out my Patreon. I've been trying to post more of my scripts and work in progress videos there, being a bit more active with it. So if you want to support me and support the videos that I do on here, the link to that will be in the description below, along with everything else. And if you have any suggestions for what you want me to talk about in the next video, be sure to let me know. But that's about it for me. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Life stay jacket. Treat people like people. And yeah, that's about it. Take care, guys.